Hello and welcome to the Listen to My Radio tutorial series. In this tutorial we are going to be taking a look at how to broadcast to the Listen to My Radio premium service with VirtualDJ Broadcasting Edition. The first thing you need to do, if you haven't done so already, is to set up your Shoutcast 3 panel and have AutoDJ enabled. Now, there are a number of differences between Shoutcast 1 and Shoutcast 2. The main differences are that Shoutcast 2 comes with DJ management, and it also has an automatic AutoDJ on-off feature. What that basically means is, well, in version 1, to switch from AutoDJ to live broadcasting or vice versa, you would have to log into the control panel and turn AutoDJ off, and then you can start broadcasting live from your software. And then once you're done, if you want AutoDJ to resume, you have to go back into the control panel and re-enable it. Now it's done fully automatically. You just have to start broadcasting and AutoDJ will automatically deactivate itself, and once you're done, it will resume playing. To get this done, Shoutcast V2 has a number of new ports. While Shoutcast 1 only had one port, Shoutcast 2 has 3 different ports. So the main difference here is that when it comes to broadcasting, if you have AutoDJ enabled, you would use the ports listed under Quick Links, under live source connections. And that will lead to the automatic switching of the connections. If you don't have AutoDJ enabled, if it's completely disabled, you would use the port located under Account Overview here. In our case, that's port 8000, and you would broadcast to that. In this example, we are going to be taking a look at how to broadcast with AutoDJ enabled, since that's what most users will want to do. But in case you want to broadcast with AutoDJ disabled, you would use the port on the overview page under Account Overview, this one here. Okay. So the first thing we need to do now is get the VDJ. In our case here, we already have AutoDJ set up and working. If you don't know how to do this, we recommend that you check out our knowledge base for tutorials on how to do this. Once you have AutoDJ set up and running, you can check whether it's running or not at this icon here. If it shows a green check mark like here, it's working properly and you can proceed. I'll now bring my installation of VDJ up and we'll take a look at how to set it up. The first thing you need to do is go to the record icon here and go to the broadcast option. Once you're here, you need to click on config and a new window will pop out. You need to, under format, you need to select MPAG, this one here, and set your bitrate. The bitrate will depend on your package, and you can find it out by going to Shoutcast and clicking on Quick Links. And then under live source connections here, you will see your maximum bitrate, and that's what you need to enter into VDJ. In our case, that's 32. So we'll select 32 here. The next thing we need to do is set the server option to broadcast to a radio server. Under server, we need to enter the IP address of our package, which you can also find under live source connections here. In our case, that's this here, the server hostname. Copy it into VDJ. Also, when you do the copying, please make sure that you copy it properly and that there aren't any blank spaces copied with it. If you do copy blank spaces with it, it can lead to error codes which will prevent you from connecting. If that happens to you, please try manually typing in both the server, the port, and the password. Okay, so paste the IP address into server. See, in our case, it copied a whole bunch of blank spaces in front of the IP. so we need to delete these. If we don't, we'll have a problem with connecting to the server. The next thing we need to do is get the port. As said, Shoutcast 2 has a number of ports. In our case, we will be using the Shoutcast V1 port. The reason we need to use this one is because VirtualDJ doesn't support a Shoutcast V2, but because Shoutcast V2 server has the built-in backwards compatibility, you can still use VirtualDJ using the port listed under Shoutcast V1. In our case, the port is 8002. So we'll copy that and paste it into the port field in VirtualDJ. Under name, you can enter the name of your, the desired name of your stream. We'll just enter tutorial stream. Under password, if you have experience with Shoutcast 1, you would usually enter the source password into the password field, but it's a bit different when it comes to Shoutcast V2. In Shoutcast V2, we have DJ management. What DJ management basically allows you to do is create multiple DJ accounts so that each of your DJs has a unique username and password that they can both use to log into Shoutcast if you give them permission to do so, or just broadcast live with their own username and password so you don't have to give out your main password to the user. Please note that this only works when you have AutoDJ enabled. If you are broadcasting without AutoDJ, you would need to use the source password, which is configured under source password here under settings configuration. So you would have to use that instead of the DJ that you would set up under DJ management. We already have an account set up here, and before we can proceed with the setup in VirtualDJ, we need to set up an account. We already have one set up here, so I'll first delete it and then proceed to set up the new one. To get into DJ management, you need to click on DJs under configuration in Shoutcast. Once you are in this panel, click on create DJ account and then proceed to fill out the fields. Under username, you need to enter your desired username for your new DJ. In this case, I'll use tutorial. Under password, you need to enter the desired password. I'll just enter a password here. Under confirm, you need to enter the same password as above for confirmation. Under real name, you can enter the real name or whatever you want to represent this DJ account. This is mostly done so you can distinguish different accounts if the usernames are alike. We'll just enter tutorial here and proceed. Under permissions, you can set the privileges or permissions that this account has. What this basically means is you can limit how much this account can do. For example, if you give this account to someone and you don't want them to be able to, for example, disable AutoDJ, you can give them all permissions except this one, or you can give them none of the permissions, in which case they will only be able to broadcast and won't be able to log into Shoutcast and do anything. For this account, I'll just give it all permissions. To do that, I will click the first permission here, hold down Shift, and click on the last one. If you just want to give this account one permission, you can just click on the permission you want to give it. Or if you want to give it multiple permissions, you can hold on the Control key and select the permissions you want to assign to this account. As said, I want to give it all the permissions, so I'll just select them all. Under login restrictions, you can set up time-based restrictions when this account can be used. By default, it will allow the account to be enabled 24/7. But if you want to make any limitations or restrictions, you can just select the days as described above for permissions and also set the from and to hours. we'll just save the changes by clicking on Save here, and restart the server to apply the change. To restart the server, go to the left side here and click on Restart under Server. Okay. Now that the server has been restarted, the change has been applied, and we can return to VirtualDJ and continue with the setup. Because we are using compatibility mode in Shoutcast 2, we need to use a special format to enter the password. Because VirtualDJ at this time doesn't support Shoutcast 2 fully, it doesn't have a username field. Because of that, we need to enter both the username and the password into the password field using a special format. You would first enter the username that we set up under DJ management, then type in a colon without any spaces or anything else, so username colon password. So you would first enter the username, then a colon, then the password into the password field. So in our case, that's tutorial, colon, and then the password. Now that we have set up all of these, we can proceed to save the changes and try connecting to the server. To save the changes, just click on OK here. And once you have done that, you can click on Start Recording to establish a connection to the server. Let's try that. Okay, so we are currently connected to the server and broadcasting. What basically happens now is the server will detect the new connection, and it will automatically deactivate AutoDJ, and your connection will be tuned in. The next thing you need to do if you want to broadcast from VirtualDJ is select a file and start broadcasting. To start broadcasting, just double-click a file, and it will load it into the deck, and then just click on this flashing play button here, and it will start playing. If you also want to use a microphone with VirtualDJ, you can go to Config up here, and under the sound setup you can select microphone here and click OK. The next thing we need to do is check if everything is working properly. To do that, we'll return to Shoutcast and go to Quick Links. Under Quick Links, you have several tune-in links which you can use to listen to your stream. You can, for example, download any of these and try listening to your stream in your favorite player. If you hear the stream, that's it, and you are broadcasting correctly to our premium service. Thank you for watching. For other tutorials, please see our knowledge base.